Lawyer Dr. Max Okpara joins us now for a chat on the moves by the House of Representatives to stop the parade of suspects and how legal is such an act by security agencies. Dr. Okpara, good afternoon. Many thanks for being here on Newsday.
Good afternoon, Cynthia. It's my pleasure to be here once again.
Of course, likewise. Let's talk about the motive behind this bill, basically. What would you say is the driving force? Is this about evolution, or is this just about a new political awareness, or something completely different?
Well, I think what National Assembly House of Representatives should do is to ensure that the various security agencies comply with the law, because we have the law already. The Constitution, which is the supreme law, said that a suspect is presumed innocent. So then the Administration of Criminal Justice Act, I think Section 15 or thereabout, also stated that somebody arrested is expected to remain silent until his lawyer is around for him to make a statement. So, but what we are seeing is that once somebody is arrested, they won't even allow their lawyer to come. They will say, "Oga, go to court and wait for us. We are still investigating." The following night, you will see the person be paraded before the media. So you now ask yourself, what are they trying to achieve? So investigation starts from interrogation. And most of the times you see that the people that are asking the suspect question are members of the press, the journalists. These are the people that are asking the suspect a question. And the suspect will also make a confessional statement. And most of the times, they will even like to smuggle that statement into court, using it to prove their case during prosecution. So if you watch the whole scenario, you now say that, are these people investigating or they are entertaining people? What are they trying to achieve? Just to tell people that they are working. Because once you arrest a suspect, you should carry out your investigation. In fact, before people should even know that you have arrested somebody, you have concluded your investigation. In a Western world, before they even go for arrest or do anything, they must have concluded the investigation before they will go for this. But once you arrest somebody, let me say a terrorist or an armed robber in the scene of the crime, you follow the due process. You don't even need to parade the person. Because once you parade the person, you have violated the person's right. And fundamental rights supersede every other thing.
All right. Dr. Okpara, there's an observation that has been made over time about how there's discrimination or decision on who to parade and who not to parade. When we see high-profile suspects from wealthy or politically connected families arrested, there's rarely a case of, having them paraded. So there are questions about if this proposed ban is really about human rights or protecting those that are connected or powerful. What do you say to that school of thought?
I don't know what you mean by high-profile cases. In fact, I think it's only in this country that I hear, if a crime is a crime, once you commit a crime, you have committed a crime. So that Malami defrauded federal government, or alleged that to have defrauded federal government when he was Minister of Attorney General of the Federation, is with the same thing with that cleaner who defrauded federal government. That cleaner Minister of Justice. A crime is a crime, no matter who is involved.
But Dr. Okpara, let's be honest. Let's be honest. We know that the Nigeria, we know how to categorize. That might be the ideal, but this is the reality. So is this really about protecting those that might be powerful, even though it's in your eyes, you say it shouldn't be?
Cynthia, don't drag me into morality. We're talking about law. In law, everybody is equal. Everybody, whether you're a minister, whether you're a cleaner, everybody is equal. And there is no law that was made for ministers and another law made for that cleaner. What we are saying is that once somebody commits a crime, follow the due process. The issue of parading a suspect, you have violated the suspect's rights because he's no longer presumed innocent. Remember that when you parade the suspect, you have publicized the suspect, you show gun, you have concluded the investigation, you have concluded the trial before the judge. In fact, you have even prejudiced the mind of the judge. So what we are saying, okay, what of at the end of the day? A client of mine was discharged and acquitted. That was last week. The thing that we call, I don't want to mention her name, here in Abuja. So now, but during the time her company was paraded, the woman was paraded. Now that you have discharged, she has been discharged and acquitted. I have not seen that in any pages of newspaper. I don't know whether you get what I'm saying. So parading a suspect is violation of right itself.
Okay, well, going off of that premise, that example that you just made, of course, we know that, like you rightly said, and I'm sure you agree with this, that the suspects should not be paraded. But there's another question about convicted criminals that often end up walking free due to plea bargains or compromised prosecutions. So some are saying that the real problem is not necessarily the parade, but a collapse of the entire criminal justice system. Do you think what do you say to that? Will you agree that there's some level of compromise in the criminal justice system?
Of course. I doubt whether there is any section of the Nigeria, any sector of Nigeria that is not compromised. Like you use something like a plea bargain. Plea bargain has become part of our law. If somebody now apply, because it has a procedure, it's part of our law. If somebody apply to settle his or her matter through plea bargaining and he met the threshold, and the court now adopted it, so be it. Now, once you are an ex-convict and you have been convicted and sentenced, you are an ex-convict. But once you have been convicted and you appeal against your matter, yes, you are an ex-convict as at that particular time. But once you appeal against your matter is still ongoing. Anything can happen at the appellate court. So, but what we are saying is that once somebody is facing criminal trial, that person has a right, a fundamental right to exercise. That is where we are getting it wrong. Our security agents don't believe that a suspect has a right. A suspect has a right because he's presumed innocent until he's been tried and convicted and sentenced.
Dr. Okpara just raised the point now that our security agents don't believe that suspects have a right. So let's presume that the House of Representatives makes this law. Are you concerned that there might be an issue when it comes to enforcement, knowing that you're dealing with the mindset of security of forces or agents, like you just rightly said, who don't believe that suspects have a right? What is going to be the safeguard that you think needs to be on ground to ensure that it's implemented and followed through?
I think if they are going ahead with the law, there must be a sort of compensation that must be embedded in that legal framework. That is to say, if you mistakenly or by omission or commission you parade the suspect and the suspect challenge it in court, the law should be that everything that has to do with his or her criminal trial should be put to a stop until court will determine whether his or her right is being violated. If court now they determine that yes, by parading him you have violated his right, you should be paid compensation. They should pay that compensation before they will commence the criminal trial. I think there is every need for us to give them a memo. I don't know whether they will call for public hearing so that we submit a memo, so that the police officer, it's not as if that the money will come from the federal government. If it is a command, the head of the command, if it's the FCT command, the commissioner of police who approved that parade should be the person to pay that compensation in person. So I think it will go a long way of achieving what they want to do. Otherwise, believe you me, they will go ahead and violate the right and tell you that nothing will happen. And our court should also be proactive. When somebody files and say, my lord, this trial is not supposed to commence because this particular issue has not been complied with, I think it will make sense. Makes
a lot of sense indeed. Dr. Maxwell Okpara, many thanks for your analysis. We appreciate your time here on Newsday as always.